deep in the scorching heart of the Kalkoveld, where temperatures soar beyond human endurance and water becomes more precious than gold, exists a people who possess something that defies everything we know about human survival. Their skin glows with an otherworldly crimson luminescence that has baffled anthropologists for generations. But this is not golden skin as legends suggest. It is something far more extraordinary, something that holds ancient secrets of human adaptation that could revolutionize our understanding of survival itself. The Ovahimba of northern Namibia are not merely another indigenous tribe. Ethnographic evidence reveals they are living repositories of ancestral knowledge systems that have remained virtually unchanged for over 500 years. In a world where globalization erases cultural identity within decades, how have these semi-nomadic pastoralists maintained practices so ancient, so mysterious, that modern science is only beginning to comprehend their genius? The Crimson Enigma. Beyond surface beauty, what appears as golden skin in filtered sunlight reveals itself as something far more profound under anthropological scrutiny. The Ovahimba women cover their bodies in Otjize, a sacred mixture of butterfat and ochre pigment that transforms human flesh into living art. But cultural adaptation mechanisms suggest this practice serves purposes that transcend mere aesthetics. This crimson coating represents one of humanity's most sophisticated biochemical survival matrices. The ochre, composed of ferric oxide, clay, and sand, creates a protective barrier that modern sunscreens can barely match. Indigenous survival matrices indicate this mixture blocks harmful ultraviolet radiation while allowing beneficial vitamin D synthesis, a delicate balance that took generations to perfect. The butterfat component serves as both moisturizer and insect repellent in an environment where mosquito-borne diseases can prove fatal. Anthropological anomalies emerge when we consider that this natural formula prevents body hair growth, essentially creating a more efficient cooling system for extreme heat survival. The aromatic omuzumba resin added to this mixture produces antimicrobial properties that protect against skin infections, knowledge that predates modern medicine by centuries. The sacred fire, portal between worlds. At the heart of every Ovahimba homestead burns the okuruwo, a sacred fire that has remained lit for generations. Ethnographic records reveal this is not merely a source of warmth or cooking fuel. It represents humanity's oldest communication network with the ancestral realm. Cultural extinction probability shows that such practices disappear rapidly under modern pressure. Yet the Ovahimba maintain this connection with unwavering devotion. The Firekeeper holds responsibility for maintaining this spiritual technology that serves as a cosmic antenna, transmitting messages between the living and the dead. Ancient oral traditions suggest the okuruwo creates a dimensional bridge where ancestral spirits can influence the material world. But beyond spiritual significance, survival adaptation data indicates this sacred fire serves practical purposes that modern humans have forgotten. The constant smoldering creates a smoke perimeter that repels dangerous insects and predators. The sacred placement between the main hut and cattle kraal establishes a protection zone that shields both humans and livestock. Most remarkably, the specific woods burned in these fires produce aromatic compounds that purify the surrounding air, and create a natural antibiotic environment. The bilateral descent mystery, genetic insurance policy. Hidden within Ovahimba social structure lies one of anthropology's rarest discoveries, a bilateral descent system found in fewer than a dozen cultures worldwide. This genetic isolation coefficient reveals survival wisdom that challenges our understanding of human adaptation to extreme environments. Every Ovahimba belongs to two clans simultaneously, one through the father's patriclan called Oruzo, and another through the mother's matriclan called Ianda. Anthropological anomalies suggest this dual kinship system evolved as an insurance policy against environmental catastrophe. When drought decimates one clan's territory, members can seek refuge with their alternate clan dispersed across vast distances. This survival matrix allows individuals to access water sources, grazing lands, and emergency resources across hundreds of kilometers. Genetic isolation coefficients indicate this system prevents inbreeding while maintaining cultural purity, a delicate balance that ensures both biological and cultural survival in one of Earth's harshest environments. The inheritance patterns reveal additional layers of ancient wisdom. Material wealth flows through the maternal line, while social status transmits through paternal lineage. This dual system ensures resources remain available even when environmental disasters devastate traditional territories. The smoke bath revelation, ancient biotechnology. In a landscape where water scarcity makes traditional bathing impossible, the Ovahimba developed a cleansing technology that surpasses modern hygiene methods. Cultural adaptation mechanisms reveal the smoke bath represents sophisticated understanding of human biology that predates scientific discovery by millennia. Each morning, Ovahimba women place smoldering charcoal into bowls containing specific herb combinations, particularly leaves from the Kamafora tree. The ritualistic smoke bath involves covering oneself with blankets to trap healing vapors that open pores and create controlled perspiration. This process removes toxins, dead skin cells, and harmful bacteria while infusing the body with antimicrobial compounds. Ethnographic evidence reveals this practice maintains body pH levels that prevent infections while conserving precious water resources. The aromatic compounds absorbed through the skin create a natural deodorant effect that lasts for days. Most remarkably, this daily ritual strengthens the immune system through controlled exposure to beneficial plant chemicals. Cognitive revolution, the Himba mind advantage. Recent anthropological research has uncovered something extraordinary about Ovahimba consciousness that challenges everything we believe about human intelligence. Survival adaptation data indicates these semi-nomadic pastoralists possess cognitive flexibility that far exceeds Western thinking patterns. When presented with problem-solving challenges, Ovahimba individuals demonstrate remarkable ability to think outside conventional parameters. Cultural adaptation mechanisms suggest their unpredictable lifestyle, where water sources disappear overnight and grazing grounds shift with seasonal patterns, has evolved neural pathways that embrace change rather than resist it. Ethnographic studies reveal Ovahimba families will abandon entire homesteads within hours when environmental conditions demand relocation. This cognitive flexibility represents human adaptation at its finest. minds trained to view impermanence as natural law rather than disruption. The absence of formal education may actually enhance this cognitive advantage. Without rigid thinking patterns imposed by structured learning, Ovahimba consciousness remains fluid, adaptive, and innovative. This suggests modern education systems may be limiting human potential rather than expanding it. The hair code, social technology made visible. What appears as simple decoration reveals itself as sophisticated communication technology when examined through anthropological lenses. Ovahimba hairstyles constitute a complex social coding system that transmits vital information about age, marital status, fertility, and social position without spoken words. Young girls wear multiple Otjize textured plaits arranged to veil their faces, indicating their protected status within the community. Boys maintain single braided plaits extending to the rear of their heads, marking their transition toward manhood. Married women display the elaborate Irembe headpiece, crafted from sheepskin, with streams of braided hair shaped with Otjize paste. This visual language prevents social conflicts by clearly establishing relationships, availability, and hierarchical positions. In nomadic societies where groups frequently encounter strangers, such instant communication systems prevent dangerous misunderstandings that could lead to violence. The practical aspects prove equally ingenious. The Otjize treated hair creates natural sun protection for the scalp, while the intricate braiding patterns secure hair against harsh desert winds. The aromatic resin, infused in the styling mixture, repels insects and provides cooling aromatherapy effects during extreme heat exposure. The tooth gap ritual, ancient medical wisdom. Among the Ovahimba's most mysterious practices lies the deliberate extraction of 4 lower incisors during adolescence. Cultural adaptation mechanisms suggest this seemingly brutal ritual serves purposes that extend far beyond mere tradition. Ethnographic evidence indicates this dental modification creates specific airflow patterns that enhance cooling efficiency during extreme heat exposure. The strategic gaps allow increased air circulation through the mouth, potentially preventing heat stroke in desert environments where temperatures regularly exceed human tolerance. The timing of this procedure, between ages 10 and 12, coincides with critical developmental phases where facial structure can still adapt to accommodate the changes. Ancient oral traditions suggest this modification also serves spiritual purposes, creating resonance chambers that enhance vocal communication with ancestral spirits during religious ceremonies. Medical anthropology reveals additional benefits. The procedure eliminates teeth most susceptible to decay in environments where dental hygiene proves challenging. The removal reduces oral bacteria while creating easier access for natural cleaning methods using traditional plant fibers. The polygamous strategy, genetic and social optimization. The Ovahimba practice of polygamy represents more than cultural tradition. It constitutes sophisticated genetic and social engineering adapted to extreme survival conditions. Survival adaptation data indicates an average Ovahimba husband maintains 2 wives, each with separate dwellings within the family compound. This arrangement ensures genetic diversity within isolated populations while providing redundant maternal care for children. If environmental disasters, predators, or diseases affect one family unit, the polygamous structure provides immediate backup support systems. The arrangement also optimizes resource allocation, with multiple adults contributing to food production, child rearing, and livestock management. The spatial organization reveals additional wisdom. Each wife maintains her own hut, with the primary wife positioned opposite the kraal entrance, establishing clear hierarchies while preventing conflicts through physical separation. This system distributes domestic responsibilities while ensuring no single individual becomes overwhelmed by survival demands. Anthropological anomalies suggest this marriage structure also serves as diplomatic technology, creating alliances between different clans through strategic unions that strengthen tribal networks across vast territories. The cattle connection, living currency, and spiritual technology. In Ovahimba culture, wealth calculations depend entirely on cattle ownership rather than monetary accumulation. These livestock represent living banks that provide milk, meat, hide, and social status while requiring no external infrastructure for maintenance. But ethnographic records reveal cattle serve purposes beyond mere sustenance. These animals constitute sacred technology that maintains spiritual connections with ancestral realms. The sacred kraal positioning creates ritual spaces where cattle and spirits intersect, facilitating communication between human and ancestor consciousness. The emotional bonds between Ovahimba and their cattle approach symbiotic relationships. Survival adaptation data indicates these animals provide early warning systems for environmental dangers, predator threats, and weather changes through behavioral pattern recognition that spans generations of accumulated knowledge. Recent drought conditions have devastated these living wealth systems, forcing many Ovahimba families to abandon traditional territories and migrate to urban settlements. This displacement threatens not only economic survival, but the complete dissolution of cultural knowledge systems that took centuries to develop. The gender matrix, optimized labor distribution, Ovahimba society, demonstrates sophisticated gender role optimization that maximizes survival efficiency in extreme environments. Women and girls perform labor-intensive tasks, including water transportation, home construction using traditional red clay and cow manure mixtures, firewood collection, calabash vine cultivation, and food preparation. This distribution reflects practical adaptation rather than arbitrary cultural assignment. Women's generally superior fine motor skills and attention to detail make them ideal for intricate tasks like jewelry creation, clothing production, and precise food preparation that could mean survival or death in resource-scarce environments. Men focus on livestock management, animal slaughter, construction projects, and tribal governance, activities requiring greater physical strength and long-distance mobility. The herding responsibilities often separate men from family homesteads for extended periods, creating social structures that function efficiently despite temporary separations. The matriarchal inheritance system ensures resource continuity through female lineages, recognizing women's central role in cultural transmission and survival knowledge preservation. The water wars, survival in the time of scarcity. Current ethnographic evidence reveals the Ovahimba face unprecedented challenges as climate change intensifies drought conditions across their traditional territories. Families that once measured wealth in hundreds of cattle now struggle to maintain basic survival, with government pension schemes providing their only income source. The displacement from ancestral lands represents more than economic hardship. It threatens the complete extinction of cultural knowledge systems refined across generations. When Ovahimba communities relocate to urban settlements like Opuo, they lose access to sacred sites, traditional resources, and environmental contexts that give meaning to their cultural practices. Water scarcity has reached critical levels where families pay premium prices for basic drinking water while walking extensive distances to access questionable sources. The traditional nomadic patterns that once allowed movement to follow seasonal water sources have become impossible as competing land uses and political boundaries restrict movement. These environmental pressures force cultural adaptations that may prove irreversible. Children growing up in urban settlements lose connection to traditional knowledge while gaining exposure to modern influences that gradually erode cultural identity. The scientific revolution. What Ovahimba wisdom teaches modern humanity. Recent research reveals the Ovahimba possess cognitive and physical adaptations that could revolutionize our understanding of human potential. Their demonstrated cognitive flexibility suggests modern educational systems may be inadvertently limiting human intelligence by imposing rigid thinking patterns. The natural cosmetic technologies they've developed surpass many modern synthetic alternatives in effectiveness while using entirely sustainable resources. Their social organization models provide templates for community resilience that could inform modern urban planning and social policy development. Most significantly, their bilateral descent system offers insights into genetic diversity management that could prove crucial as human populations become increasingly urbanized and genetically bottlenecked. The Ovahimba demonstrate how cultural practices can maintain both biological and social health across generations without external technological intervention. Their survival strategies prove that human adaptation reaches far beyond what modern civilization considers possible. In environments where most humans would perish within days, the Ovahimba have thrived for centuries using nothing but accumulated wisdom and natural resources. The transcendent truth, guardians of human potential. As we stand at the threshold of unprecedented global challenges, climate change, resource depletion, cultural homogenization, and technological dependence, the Ovahimba represent something precious beyond measure. They are living proof that human consciousness can adapt, survive, and flourish in conditions that challenge our species' very existence. Their crimson skin tells a story not of golden beauty, but of red earth wisdom that connects human flesh to planetary survival. Every ritual, every practice, every seemingly simple cultural element represents generations of refined knowledge about living in harmony with forces that would destroy unprepared populations. The sacred fires they maintain are not mere traditions. They are beacons of ancestral wisdom that illuminate pathways toward sustainable human existence. Their bilateral kinship systems demonstrate social technologies that ensure genetic and cultural survival across centuries of environmental uncertainty. Their cognitive flexibility reveals human potential that modern education systems have forgotten how to nurture. Their natural technologies prove that sustainable living requires neither sacrifice nor primitive conditions. Only deeper understanding of natural law and human adaptation. But time grows short. Each drought season claims more traditional practitioners. Each migration to urban settlements severs connections to ancestral knowledge. Each passing elder takes irreplaceable wisdom into the grave. The Ovahimba do not merely deserve our respect, they demand our protection as guardians of human heritage that transcends cultural boundaries. Their survival strategies may hold keys to our species' future as environmental pressures intensify and technological solutions prove inadequate. What ancient secrets will disappear forever if we fail to learn from these crimson-skinned keepers of survival wisdom? What aspects of human potential will remain locked away if their cultural knowledge systems vanish into historical memory? The mystery of the Ovahimba extends far beyond their distinctive appearance or fascinating customs. They represent humanity's deepest capacity for adaptation, resilience, and conscious evolution in the face of seemingly impossible challenges. Their story is not ending. It is calling us to remember what we have forgotten, to reclaim what we have lost, and to prepare for what is coming. In their crimson glow lies reflected not just the color of red earth and life's blood, but the flame of human potential that burns brightest when circumstances demand the impossible. The question remains, will we learn from their wisdom before it disappears forever? Or will we allow this treasure of human knowledge to fade like smoke from their sacred fires, leaving us unprepared for the challenge